Welcome back to SnowRunner, y'all, and in this video, we're checking out the release build of the Outback Overlanding map. Now, this map is available on all systems, so no matter what system you are on, you should be able to find this map in your mod browser. Now, the vehicle that we are using is public, but it is PC only, because this Bronco has, as you can see on the back, Ford branding and Bronco branding right there on the front. So once again, this is a publicly available mod on mod.io. There'll be a link to it in the description below, but it is branded and is PC only. However, if you're on consoles, there is a console-friendly Bronco. It's a two-door Bronco, but still, it is a console-friendly Bronco called the Stampede if you're on console and you would like a console-friendly Bronco alternative. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and set off in this thing, and we're going to do a realistic adventure, because y'all seem to really enjoy these realistic adventures out here on Outback Overlanding. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually make a right-hand turn out of the garage here, and we're going to connect to a trail that we've been down before, but after we connect to that trail, what we're going to do is we're going to actually make a right-hand turn again after we've been on that trail for a little while. That'll actually take us down a different trail that we don't really have much experience with. So essentially what we'll be doing is we'll be taking a familiar route and then linking up with a route that we really haven't done much with at all. But this intro section of trail should actually be a wonderful introduction to this Bronco and a reintroduction to this map, especially in a realistic sense. Now, I'm running a set of 39-inch BFG MTs on this Bronco, which seems like a pretty realistic tire size for the amount of lift. And as you can see, dude, we are absolutely just cruising up this trail. This is amazing. God, the tuning on this Bronco is so good. And not only is the tuning on this Bronco amazing, but the way these trails are designed, I know I say this every time we come here, but the trail design on this map is absolutely just otherworldly good in terms of realism. I mean, are there more difficult trails out there? Yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, this is not gonna rival, it's not gonna rival something like TNB trails in terms of difficulty, but where it is going to rival a lot of other maps is just in the sheer way that it feels real. Everything on this map feels like you could find it in a real-world off-road scenario, especially if you go into first-person view. Oh my god. And like, this is the reason why I didn't put any doors on this Bronco, because you could literally look out the, like, well, I was almost gonna say look out the window, but you could just look out the edge of the vehicle and be like, oh, yeah, that's the exact view I would be getting in real life. I mean, apart from the insanely tinted windshield, this feels like a view that you could legitimately have in the real world. I also deleted the front and rear bumpers on this Bronco because I figured, especially with some of the trails that we were going to be going down, it would just prevent us from picking up some unnecessary bumper damage, you know? And I was like, you know, if we're going to be able to, you know, if we're going to take them off, we can just, you know, we can bolt them back on if we ever want them back on, you know? Now, I am trying to keep an eye out for where that other trail connects on the right-hand side, and I don't quite know where it is yet, but I'm sure we'll come across it soon. I may check my GPS momentarily, but let's see how we do through here. Keep in mind, I've been in low range this whole time, and it's not had a single problem. Oh, look at that, how oh god, the water's coming in! Well, hopefully this thing's got drain plugs, because we're gonna need them. Let's see. I think we're gonna hang to the right this time. I do love this view, though. Coming up out of the mud onto these little hill climbs. It's so good. And not only that, it's so realistically believable. Hunting for that grip at the front end, and it finds it. Absolutely beautiful, dude. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, let's see. All right, there's that trail connector on the way up. So instead of continuing directly forward like we normally would on this trail, we're going to hang a right, and we're going to see where that goes, because I believe it heads down towards a riverbed, but as far as that, as far as everything besides that, I'm not sure. God, that's such a gorgeous flex shot of this thing as well. Looks like we got another hill we got to do before we get to that trail connector, but let's see what we can find. About half throttle right now in low plus. It's a really nice cruising speed. There we go. trying to take some slightly odd lines just to see if the Bronco likes them. And so far, I haven't really found anything that the Bronco doesn't like. I mean, this thing is absolutely just eating up these trail miles. There we go. All right, we should be coming up on the... Yep, we should be coming up on that connector momentarily. So, y'all are used to me going directly ahead where that cliffside is, but instead, we're going to make a right and head on down this way. Never really been down here, especially since all of the recent revisions to this map, but it looks like a really fun trail. It definitely looks like we've got our work cut out for us. Big old mud pit just ahead, and then some rocks right afterwards. We're going to go back into low range and see if we can do this a little bit more controlled. Ooh, well, it's not quite as... Never mind, it's deep. I was about to say, oh, that's not quite as deep as I thought it would. No, yeah, it's really deep. It's a lot deeper than I thought. Oh, that's such a sick view. God, every single scenario that I see on this map, especially if it's like scenarios that I've never seen before or trails that I've never seen before, I'm like, I could totally imagine seeing that in real life. Every single freaking time. Every time, I'm like, I can totally imagine seeing that in real life. Literally, there's nothing on this map that is unrealistic. You could go anywhere, on any trail, at any time, and be like, yep, I could imagine seeing that in real life. And for those of you where realism is the key, like realism is what draws you into the experience, this map, I can't think of any map that, you know, that exceeds this. This is like the top of the freaking tower, dude. And it's so pretty, too. Like, everything out here on this map is just gorgeous. Look at that! That suspension droop in the back. That's just nuts. The down travel this thing has is nasty. Oh, looks like we got another mud pit coming up. Let's see how we fare. Low plus is actually pretty quick. When you use it as a cruising gear, this thing moves. Oh, it's actually... So we got a fork in the road right here. Do we want to go to the right or do we want to go to the left? I have no idea. Considering the fact that I have no idea, like, where these trails go, I think I might actually go to the right because I know more about what's over to the left than I do about what's over here to the right. So let's go to the right and see where that takes us. Is this going to take us back into the river? Whoa, that's wild. Actually, I'm curious. Let's see what happens if I throw this thing in high range. Whoa! Okay, so you could totally mud bog this thing if you want. There is plenty of wheel speed and tire grip in the mud where that came from. If you really want to use it, yo, it's totally there. And you could use that riverbed as a mud bog too if you wanted. You don't necessarily have to stick to the trail. I'm only sticking to the trail for the sake of more realism. But, like, if you wanted to just absolutely rip through that riverbed, oh, more power to you. You absolutely could. What do we got down there? Looks like another connector trail. I'm going to follow these power lines and see where they take me. Looks like they cross the river once again through a little bit of mud and then come back out the other side. Let's see what we're working with down here. The mud doesn't phase it, that's for sure. Let's go. Oh my God. Dude, absolutely putting this thing to work. All right, cruising it on through. I'm picking up the pace a little bit in the sections where it's not quite as obstacle heavy, mainly because I want to get to the areas that are more obstacle heavy, even though I love these areas. Oh, yo, we got another... What the... Yo, I need to do that. Oh my God, I found a hill climb. I found a freaking hill climb. Let's go. All right, come on. Third gear, giving it some beans. Oh, dude, it rips. It's so good. Oh my God, this thing is so good. I have no idea where this will take me either. This is like, this goes out into the middle of freaking nowhere. No clue where this goes. Yo, where is this even taking me? I wonder if it'll connect to some of the, like, the gulch type trails that we've been on before. If it does, I mean, I won't necessarily be surprised if it does, but also if it goes somewhere completely different, then I won't know where the heck I'm at, and I'll have a whole new scenario to explore. We might end up having to sleep in the back of the Bronco tonight, but you know what? That's not a bad thing. That's not terrible. I kind of somewhat planned for that. Got the power lines overhead, really adding to that atmosphere. Just rolling hills and trails that run through them. Oh, it's such a beautiful area. You could just get lost in this. You could spend hours out here on this map. And you probably, even hours later, probably wouldn't have explored all the trails that this place has to offer. Almost there. Well, almost there to what? I don't know. But I'm also deliberately not exploring the map on the GPS because I only want it to show me, like, the areas that I've driven, because I really want to get that experience of not knowing where I'm going. Kind of that, like, wilderness aspect to it, you know? Oh, God. Oh, I plunged that front axle into a hole. Kind of glad I didn't break anything. And also kind of glad I didn't take on any damage. Seems to loop back over to the left. I wonder... Oh, no, it's raining! Well, I guess running without a top today was a mistake. Don't worry about that. It's fine. I'll just get soaked. Yep, I'll just get soaked. That's no big deal. No. Oh! I know where I am. Haha, I know exactly where I am. Yes, this connects into the Gulch Trails. Yo, that's wild. All right, this is perfect because now I can connect into the Gulch Trails and then follow those down to some trails that I've truly never been on before. This adventure just got a whole heck of a lot more interesting because now I'm learning the trail network, especially like learning it internally, almost by heart. That will give you a lot more. Ooh, geez. I didn't want to topple over to the right-hand side. But no, like, learning these trail networks by heart will totally give you a lot more insight into what you're doing. Not that I know these trail networks by heart, but I know some of them. I'm starting to know some of them. The knowledge is building. We're just going to take this at a nice cruise, a little faster than we were going before, but we've been through here before. We kind of know what's down here. We have a pretty good idea of this general area, but what we don't have a good idea of is what comes later. So we're kind of going to ease our way through here at a bit of a cruising speed, and then once we get into the areas that we don't know, we'll slow back down. Got a little bit of a gulch climb here. Let's see how she does in full automatic mode. Oh my God. Ripping. Absolutely ripping like that gulch climb isn't even there. Dude, this thing shreds. I don't know what else to tell y'all about this thing. It absolutely freaking shreds. And that suspension travel is absolutely the star of the show. By the way, I am so glad we deleted the bumpers. Deleting the bumpers was like the best decision ever. Looks like we got a very stranded vehicle over here. Long way down discovered.